Peace. This is Wise for Wise Words Media back at y'all for another round, and it's nothing but orange and blue skies, baby. Woo! A 4-game sweep. A statement put out here by the New York Knicks. Gotta take a moment to say peace and shout out to the Knicks fans, who we all know are some of the best fans in all of sports. Not just the NBA, in all of sports. Well-traveled, and they do it again. Another hostile takeover of Philadelphia's arena. That sound like Madison Square Garden, MSG Jr. Because we just, it's got to be an embarrassment to Philly. Such a town that takes so much pride in their sports. And you know how that Northeast is when it comes to sports. Cities like New York, Boston, Philly. Sports is something really put at a high pedestal. And to go to Philadelphia, just completely take over that arena and just completely embarrass the Sixers like that, wow. I didn't expect this to be such an easy series. I anticipated the Knicks winning. I had no chance. There was no chance for the Sixers to win this series because the Knicks don't play like Boston. Boston, they live by the gun, die by the gun. You know, they either gonna shoot their way into victory or shoot their way out of it, because all they do is settle for threes. They play like little Steph Currys. But the New York Knicks, they have a well-balanced attack. And that's why there's a lot of people that like watching the Knicks. Even people that aren't historically Knicks fans. I know a couple people personally that y'all was Bulls fans and all that in the 90s. We not jacking that. Stay over there. But I can see why they jumping on the bandwagon. It's not just because we winning. It's how we play, how we win. You know, we don't fall in love with the three-pointers. Jalen Brunson is Elijah-esque. The way that his footwork in the paint, the way he's able to drive in and draw contact, like, they don't settle for the three. You know, when the Knicks start playing that pick and pop, that pick and roll, teams are not used to that in this NBA. Teams are used to defending the three-point shot. So you got these players that, for the most part, they don't really defend pick and rolls and pick and pops. You see that they get lost. Like when the Knicks played Atlanta, lost. Philly, lost. Because they're not really used to playing teams that mix the attack up, that use the pick and roll. As basic and as fundamental as it sounds, a lot of teams they've gone away from it ever since the Golden State success. A lot of teams have gone away from it. It's a shame because there's a beautiful brand of basketball, which is why a lot of people are rooting for the Knicks. But I felt the series was over after game 3. You just saw that they had no life in them. The Knicks did a tremendous job keeping Tyrese Maxey in check. Tyrese Maxey was a non-factor this series. Gotta give the Knicks tremendous credit for that defensive effort. Embiid didn't have the greatest of series. He did show up yesterday, to try to keep them alive, but a little too much too late, because the Knicks they were on their way. Even like Josh Hart, you saw he wanted it more. When he was just hustling, just grinding for them rebounds. Like, you seen he wanted it more, man. He wanted it more than they did. I think Philly, they kind of just tapped out after that third game, and they saw that game 4, the Knicks were not taking their foot off the gas, man. The Knicks they did not want to go back to the Garden. This was gonna be over in Philly, and tremendous job done. A great balanced attack. The whole starting 5 was in double digits. It's gonna be hard to beat a team like that. It's gonna be hard to beat a team with a starting lineup. And can we give Karl Anthony Towns I'm telling y'all, man, a lot of y'all Knicks fans, man, y'all got to stop it with the Karl Anthony Towns slander. Y'all got to stop that. I remember about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, the New York Knicks were doing terribly. We were a lottery team, and we were bound to get a top 4 pick. And you know who in the 2015 draft every Knicks fan wished they could have had? Oh yeah, that's right, Karl Anthony Towns. We wanted him badly, but we ended up getting Porzingis, which was nothing more than the second coming of Keith Van Horn. But this is who we wanted. We wanted Karl Anthony Towns, and now we got him. We got him. So it's almost, I put the lens on that, like, listen, I tell myself, what the team we have now is, if Karl Anthony Towns was drafted here and everything went well in that draft, he is a Knick, and you gotta be appreciative that he is a Knick, because he is a top 5 big man in the league, top 3. He's a top 3 big man in the league. Because at any given night, when he's motivated, and as we've seen in these past, like, past 6 games, he's been motivated. And there is probably, everybody loves to talk about Jokic and his passing. Can we start giving Karl Anthony Towns his praises for his passing? He is a tremendous passing big man. He has great court vision, man. Another 10 assist game for Karl Anthony Towns. Is when he's fully invested, when Jalen Brunson allows him to believe, yes, this team needs you. When Coach Brown allows him to believe, yes, this team needs you, and he's locked in and focused like this, the Knicks are nearly unbeatable. The only team I think that can beat them this year is the OKC Thunder. Not Detroit. I don't want to hear the Pistons. Cleveland, don't make me laugh. The only team out there, and even Wembanyama and them, like, Wemby's too young. Them dudes, they coming though. They coming. They here. They gonna be playing in June next year or the year after. Mark my words. June 2027 or June 2028. By June 2028, the Spurs will be playing in June. But they time ain't it yet right now. If they were to play the Knicks, the Spurs are gonna take an L too. The only team that has all the components of a championship team that can beat the Knicks right now is the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the Knicks ain't gonna go, they ain't gonna just fade away. They're not just gonna show up and lay down. That's gonna be a dogfight if the Knicks play okay. This version of the Knicks, this reawoken version of the Knicks, after they had an embarrassing tie against Atlanta, this version of the Knicks, from Game 5 Atlanta on, this version of the Knicks is going to be very hard for OKC to stop. It's going to be, it can really be a neck-and-neck dogfight 7-game series. But whoever we play in the Eastern Conference Finals, if this version of the Knicks show up, whoever it is has no chance. Detroit, Cleveland, no chance at all. The Knicks are clicking on all cylinders, and now they get some much needed rest. OG Anunoby could get some much needed rest, as that series is still, 2-1 in favor of Detroit. So we're gonna get some good rest for OG and for the rest of our starters. So let's go Knicks. Nothing but orange and blue skies, raining over Philly. Yo, it's crazy, man. Maxey after the game said, yo, we got to find a way to keep them out. Yo, he said Philly was louder than the Garden. Wow. Philly, what an embarrassment. Damn. He said it was louder in Philly for the Knicks than it was at the Garden. That's crazy. But yeah, man, salute to my Knicks. Peace to all my Knicks fans. We here. Another Eastern Conference Finals appearance. But this time, we going to advance, man. We going to the chip, man. We going to the big one. I'm Watch Words Media. Peace.